I always felt an urge from my primary school days to share knowledge with my classmates. And that feeling that I had carried me through high school and through university. This led me to believe that this was perhaps my vocation, that I should devote my work and my career to that kind of work because it would be more rewarding for me and perhaps more meaningful than merely practicing law. And when the opportunity arose to come to Hong Kong to teach at the university, I could not resist.
Rick is very special as he can always ask questions to guide us to think and discuss among ourselves, but usually in other courses we just keep quiet and listen to the tutors.
There are many slogans that we hear about in higher education. One of them is student-centered learning. Now this is a very important part of a useful teaching philosophy. So we have to shift the thinking when we design the learning program to place the student in the center and ask what is the student experience. So certainly student-centered learning is important, and also activity-based learning. I teach principally 2 courses. Now for both of those courses, I ask the students early on to keep a diary, a kind of a diary that involves events in the Hong Kong community that occur throughout the period of the course. Throughout, the students work individually, independently, and they learn to identify the materials, the subject matter. They identify those artifacts not in books written by law professors, but they identify the artifacts in their own community. They learn to identify what is a legally relevant artifact and to write about it critically.
We have this reflexive media diary in which we have to do 10 pieces of newspaper clipping in the semester. And it is fun because you would have to pay attention to all the legal issues around the world.
In most years, I will ask my students to do a photographic essay where they have to identify in the community and through photographs and then through a critical legal essay, write about what it is in that setting that tells the law story in the subject matter of the course. When you first come to Hong Kong, you recognize that this is going to require a little bit of course design, a little bit of planning in order to develop classroom learning activities that will bring the student out and becoming a more active learner in the classroom. But it can be done. I would probably describe it as a relationship of intellectual equality, the hierarchical relationship whereby the student pays attention and accepts, follows what the teacher says. But rather, especially in higher education, in a law school or in a university, students are already intellectually mature. They have their own views which they can defend and which are sometimes better than others, better than the teachers.
He's not someone who puts himself in a superior position, so that you can always treat him as someone who understands you. And because he has high expectations for all of us, it is easy to tell him that you are encountering difficulties. He's very understandable, so he actually solves the problem or tries to explain it in a different, unconventional way.
I'm grateful for the award. And the principal ways that I am using it is to engage with university colleagues across the UGC sector who are interested in learning and improving the learning environment in the universities in Hong Kong, particularly through the medium of assessment. So already I have organized and conducted one large symposium held in last December, and it was very successful. We had presenters from all of the UGC universities and participants who attended from all of the universities. My next move is to take that one step higher, and I'm currently in the process of organizing what you might describe as a more international style conference and symposium that will also place at the center of the conference to the UGC universities but will also involve invitations to scholars around the world. So this is very much in the planning stage.